Today we are going to be looking at the Morningstar Midi controller, and I'm going to show you guys with one very helpful tip that I only just discovered how quickly you can get up and running with this device. Let's go. Hey, hope you are doing well. So I've had my MC8, the Morningstar Midi controller, for a few years now. I've used it in heaps of different situations. I've used it to control Ableton Live. I've used it on my pedal board. I had a very elaborate setup with my GT1000 core and a whole bunch of pedals, which has now been dismantled because I'm an idiot. And now I use it to control my Axe effects, and it's amazing. However, when I first got it, it was very overwhelming because when you get it, there's nothing programmed into it. It can do pretty much anything, but you have to tell it what to do, which of course requires some knowledge of MIDI, and at that time I had no idea. So all of the different MIDI pedals, such as the Black Hole and the Big Sky and then the ML5, as they got introduced into the rig, I'd have to look through the manual and find the MIDI notes that corresponded to the particular parameters that I wanted to load up. And then I'd have to dial it into the MC8, and it was very, like I said, overwhelming and time consuming. Now I've just discovered that you can open up the Morningstar editor online, and there's a whole dictionary of parameters, including the Black Hole, the Big Sky, and the ML5.
Wow!
I don't know if that's been there the whole time, but if I had known that, I would have saved so much time. So let's check that out. So just make a note, when you access the editor online, it only opens in Chrome, it doesn't open in Safari yet. So you need to install Chrome if you don't have it already. Just go into your searches, and it should show up there because I've had it already. So just when you come to Google, rather than just going to the home page, it comes up here as one of the options. So just click that one, access the Morningstar editor, and then you can select to connect to the device, and that's mine right there. Of course, don't forget that you do need to be plugged in with a USB cable to the computer in order to connect, and obviously you need the internet. So I'm currently using the wrong firmware. I'm going to update that a different time because currently it's working fine. So here's all of my banks. Boom, 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 they're all great. So I've cleared this one out so we can go from scratch and you can see exactly what I'm doing. So like I said, I've got the Morningstar, the Big Sky, the Black Hole, and the ML5. We're not gonna look at the expression pedal, that's a different story. You obviously do need all the right cabling in order to set these things up. So just to run you through it quickly, everything is powered by the Chox DC7. I've got one of these Boss MIDI cables. Now that's coming from the MIDI out, and that's going to the MIDI in on the ML5, and then that coming out of there. So the MIDI notes from here are gonna be passed into here, through this guy, back out to the Big Sky into there. Now the Black Hole, its MIDI is this one right here. So it's a different plug altogether. So therefore I've had to have that one come out of plug number 3 on the back of the Morningstar MC8. And that one there is for the expression pedal. So just to dive straight in and get this awesome piece of advice out of the way. Pick your control change, and it comes up with these 3 options here. Now you've got your own user library, but if you open the MIDI dictionary and come into here, look at all of these devices that are already there. Let's just pick Eventide because I'm using the Black Hole, and then you've got all of these parameters that are already there. So for example, bypass, I'm pretty sure it's number 14. Yeah, look at that, number 14, value number 0. So that would bypass the pedal. It's in there, boom. I just remembered 14 because I programmed a lot of that. So let's just apply that. Now let's do the same thing. Let's turn off our Strymon Big Sky. MIDI dictionary, Strymon, Big Sky. Look at all these parameters. You can do so many things in there. Bypass, that's 102. Ha, got it, nice. Oh, of course, remember you do need to change the MIDI channel. Now I've already got these saved in here. What was that one? Black Hole, boom, Big Sky. And then let's also turn everything off on the ML5, because they've even put that in here for us as well, which is so good. Bypass all loops. Let's just name that bypass all. Save the preset. So here you can see those 3 are on there. That's on. Big Sky's on. Now if I press that button, everything turns off. Kablam. And then to turn everything back on at the values that I wanted them, just pretend that's what I wanted to do. I could either copy all of that across to a different preset, but a much simpler way to do it, just to assign it to one button. Let's just pretend that I just want to turn everything back on. What I need to do is give it a toggle name. So let's call it engage all. Turn toggle mode on. So let's make press number 1 turns them off. Copy these presets, paste it, and remember to change that to position number 2. And now you want to change the value to 127. If you want to, you can come in back into your MIDI dictionary, find the eventide black hole and engage and see it's the same CC number at number 14 and the value is now 127 because highest means on, lowest means off. So again, just go through, copy, paste, 2, and 127, copy, paste. Now this one I think we might need to do a little bit different because I only want to engage loops E, D, and C, which is what I had on prior. So in that instance, what you're going to need to do is come in and select those individually. So what did I say? C, D, and E. So engage C, apply. And we're going to copy that and paste it. So that was C, which means that 4 will be D. Paste that. 5 will be E. Now let's save that preset. Let's just pull you guys in and see what happens. So now the button here, bypass all. If I press it, it says engage all. All of those things have just come back on. So we've got off, on. So that's how quick and easy that can be to set up your pedals with the Morningstar controllers. I have the MC8 because I wanted the 8 buttons. They just released this brand new MC6 Pro, which looks amazing. I reckon they're gonna do the same thing with the MC8. So I'm gonna hold out for that for now. If you're looking for a MIDI controller, I can't go past this one. This one is amazing. Now, if you are a Morningstar user and you have any parameters that aren't currently in the MIDI dictionary, apparently it is possible to upload your own parameters. So for example, if we come into the MIDI dictionary and come across to the boss stuff, you can see there's a DD500, but there's no DD200. So for example, if you have parameters for that, save that in there, upload it, and it's going to help everybody out. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and check out some of the other videos. Just to quickly cover it, program changes in my experience is more or less usually just a patch change. So for example, on the big sky and the black hole, I want to go from patch 1 to patch 3 and from patch 3 to patch 2. So press program change. Now with the big sky, it's going to depend on the pedal that you use, but the Morningstar speaks in MIDI, so 0 means 1. So therefore, if I wanted to change to patch 3 on the big sky, I need to go patch number 2, and then change that to the big sky. Then on the black hole, I said I wanted to go to patch number 2. Now I don't remember with that one, so let's just try number 2. Black hole, save. Actually, give it a quick name, patch change. Patch Chan, good enough. So let's see what happens. So on the big sky, like I said, 0 means 1, so 0, 1, 2. And on the black hole, it's got 1 to 5, but it is programmed so that patch 1 is MIDI number 1, not 0. Change this again to there. We'll go back to number 2 on the big sky. Patch change 3 and 2. Cool. So when it comes to the patch changes on the device that you're using, it's literally just as simple as test it out. You can read the manual if you want to, but just type it in and it'll tell you if you're right or if you're wrong. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. See you next time.